Welcome everyone to the European Club Cup 2025. On your screen is Arjun Erigaisi. He's taking on IM Saraci, Nderim, who's rated just 2445. And Arjun is playing for the team of Alkaloid, a very strong team. As you can see next to him, as he takes off his jacket, is Wei. Then Yu Yangi is sitting there. It's a very powerful team that he's playing for, and it will be interesting to see how Arjun on the top board. He's current India number one. He's rated 2773, an extremely strong player. And there you see his team member gets him a chocolate. Ritter Sport, is it? I guess so. And also gives it to Wei, Yu Yangi, and there's also Arvind in his team. We have a handshake and we are ready to rock and roll. Arjun with the white pieces facing a 2400 IM. He's known for playing really aggressive chess against lower rated opponents and scoring wins against them. But Saraci is like, I'm going to be very solid against you. He goes e5, knight comes out to f3, and Black brings his knight to f6. Ooh, we have the Petrov here. And this is going to make Arjun's task really difficult to play for a win. He takes the pawn on e5 because Petrov is one of the most solid openings out there. Saraci plays his pawn to d6, pushing Arjun's knight away. And Arjun Erigaisi now, generally knight f3 is the main move, but he goes knight c4. Just trying to have this surprise value in the position. Saraci takes here on e4. Now remember, if you try to pin this here, I always have queen e7 to break the pin, and he plays it. He plays queen e2. I believe Arjun is very keen to go into an endgame. He goes queen e7, or maybe not. Maybe it's not an endgame. If you play d3, there could be an endgame, but he goes knight e3. He's keeping the pieces on the board. He's threatening knight d5. So the knight goes back to f6, controlling the square. It does feel a little bit random how this knight from f3 moved to e3. And Arjun now thinks and plays d4. He seems to be in his preparation. He has 1 hour 29 minutes. And Saraci plays pawn to g6. Not sure about this move. Arjun can bring his knight out to c3, but he goes pawn to g3. He wants to bring his bishop out to g2 and attack on this diagonal. But maybe there was this possibility of jumping into d5. But, well, we don't know if that was super strong or not. But bishop g7 played here. And Arjun goes bishop g2. His bishop is on this long diagonal. But it can be blunted with pawn to c6. For now, castles by Black, and Arjun also castles. This gives Black an opportunity to push the pawn to d5 for the simple reason that if knight takes d5, the queen on e2 is not defended, and that's what Saraci does. He plays pawn to d5. Now everything is equal, you can see in this position. Arjun plays his pawn to b3, rook comes to e8, and now bishop to a3, attacking the queen here. He brings his queen back to d8, and Arjun goes knight to d2. He brings his knight into the game here. And knight c6, you can see that Black has kind of outplayed white with the pieces. Knight is better placed. This knight is looking at e4. The bishop is looking here. The rook is on the open file. So Arjun plays pawn to c3 and Saraci goes knight e7. I love this move as well. He's coming to f5 with his knight. He wants to put his pawn on c6. And now knight to f3 played. He goes pawn to c6. And knight jumps into e5. Black goes knight f5. Now unleashing the rook on this file. He plays rook a d1 and bishop e6. Maybe there were other ways to play here. One possible way was to take on e3, and if queen e3, there's knight g4. F e3 spoils the structure a bit, makes the e4 square a bit weak, but bishop e6 played, and now Arjun comes back to bishop c1. Well, Arjun is generally able to turn around such equal positions, and he's able to trick his lower rated opponents. Will he be able to do that with Saraci today? Bishop e3, who's playing for the team of Dardania. Queen c8, a very interesting move. He wants to go bishop h3. Arjun plays pawn to f3. And Saraci anyway plays his bishop to h3. He's offering the trade of bishops. And now Arjun goes queen to d2. There's bishop takes g2. And now king takes g2 has been played. Maybe you want to push your pawns forward. Goes knight d7, offering a trade of knights. Black is playing so solidly. This is one of the reasons why Petrov is a very feared opening at the top, because it's very difficult for white to get an advantage. And I love how Saraci is now trying to gain space on the queen side, but Arjun begins his play on the king side. a4 played here. If you do push b4, then the c4 square gets weakened. The knight could jump in. So Arjun goes rook f2. He ignores it. Pawn takes pawn, activating the rook on a8. I still like black's position a lot. You can come in now with rook to a3. He does play it. Rook comes into a3. Maybe queen a8 coming in, but Arjun has queen b2 here. He plays it. And Saraci says, okay, I accept that I don't want to go queen a8. And he comes back rook a7. Because maybe the queen a8, there is a possibility of this being not a place to infiltrate. So rook a7, rook e2 played here by Arjun. And Saraci goes b6, rook e1, and now the knight jumps to f8. Bishop goes to f2. You take on e2 here. Queen takes e2, taking the open file. But the knight jumps into e6. Notice there is a hole here on the f4 square. You have to be careful. Arjun plays pawn to f4. Arjun is like, I'm getting rid of that hole straight away. Rook a8 played here. And now do you go full throttle ahead with f5? That could be risky. Instead he goes queen to f3, just improving the position of his queen. And waiting for black to go wrong. Rook comes to a2. It does look really active, but Arjun doesn't care. He starts pushing his pawns on the king side. h4. And now knight to f8. I believe Arjun is taking over slowly. This is what he loves doing. f5, another powerful move. You can see the pawn is 2 squares away from the knight, so it kind of dominates the knight from coming up forward. Pawn takes pawn. He takes back, pawn takes pawn. And now knight comes to d7. He moves his knight here. There's knight to f4 played. He could have also gone in the other direction to attack the rook and the pawn, but knight f4 is coming closer to the king. Saraci goes knight f6, stopping the knight from advancing, but anyway the knight comes to h5. He trades it. Knight takes h5. Arjun takes, queen takes h5. And this is a key moment now in the game. He plays queen f8. Can there be f6 that's coming up? No, he goes queen f3 with the idea of f6. This is really exciting now. Bishop f6 attacking the pawn. King h3 would be a great move. You open up rook g1. Arjun also has 30 extra minutes on the clock. And somehow Saraci is talking to the arbiter here, and he says that maybe he wants to go to the washroom, but Arjun has made his move and perhaps he wants to go there. I'm not so sure what's happening here. There is some confusion with all other games almost coming to an end on this matchup. And board, that's the board. And you know, generally there's a lot of pressure when 40 moves are done and you're waiting for it, but if your opponent makes the move instantly, you're kind of stuck there. And so Saraci goes, gets himself a cup of coffee or tea or water, I don't know what it is, and plays his pawn to h6, a very good move. And he took good amount of time for that, and I'm really impressed by his ability to hold things together against a player of Arjun's caliber. It's never easy. Bishop e3 played by Arjun. Meanwhile, all of other teammates of Arjun have won their games, so there's not much to worry about from the match perspective. But Arjun personally would want to win the game. He goes rook g1. This is like storm clouds are gathering. Rook c2 played, attacking the pawn on c3. I like this move actually. And Arjun here thinking about what to do, goes bishop f4. And now an important move, queen e8. I don't know if it's easy to see. He finds it. Wow. Saraci on fire. He's bringing in the queen here to e2 perhaps. Arjun goes queen g3. And you have queen c8 attacking this pawn. Again a fantastic move. You go queen d3, attacking the rook, defending the pawn, and once again finds an accurate move. I can't believe how amazing the 2400 IM is playing. Bishop takes h6 taken, and he finds this beautiful move queen b8, because if you had taken here, then there is queen e3 check and you lose this. But queen b8 threatening his own checkmate in one move. Arjun goes queen g3, offering a trade of queens. Queen takes g3. You have to take with the king to attack the rook here. But Saraci finds this another tactic. Bishop h4, grabbing back his pawn. King takes h4. And now king h6 taken by Saraci. Arjun's move. He goes king g4 and offers a draw. Maybe a sign of respect for his opponent who has played so well until now. I believe there's no reason for the IM to not take a draw. He takes it. Kudos to Saraci for finding some incredible moves and holding Arjun Erigaisi to a draw. It is never ever easy when you face a player like him. I can vouch for that. I met Arjun recently. I solved some tactics with him. The guy was so sharp, so good, so strong. And to hold him to a draw in this manner in a complex game speaks a lot about how good Saraci is as a player. I wish him the best, and I wish Arjun the best in the remaining rounds. And we hope that Team Alkaloid and Arjun play well in the remaining 6 games.